Did you see Joe Rogan stand up? Oh, that's the other thing I was going to talk about. Did you show Joe Rogan to your mom, or am I making that up? No, I did. And I fucking focus tested it on my brother, his girlfriend, and my mom. And honestly, they did not like it at all. My mom thought it was so crass and so rude. Her initial reaction was, is all he talks about just doing drugs and penises? How rude. That was her initial take. There was a couple funny moments in there which were shocking. Like the TSA line was a bar where he's like talking about how he's high, and he has a TSA officer come up to him and he's like, this is the point where I'm going to use the back of my hand on your crotch area. And like the thing that he said there is exactly a thought that I've had as well, where I also have had that thought in my mind. I'm like, what difference does it fucking make for me that you're using the back of your hand? You're still touching my dick. That was funny. Except he literally did that right after he did you just assume my gender joke, which was not even a joke at this point. It's like, it's 2024, man. Come on, dog. Come on, dude. Like, what's the name of the dude on the right? It's Bassem Youssef. Yeah. I prefer the back of a hand personally, sure. Yeah, a lot of his jokes, like, he kind of reminded me of Cenk a little bit when he gets like really riled up and he's like, oh, he does a lot of like physical comedy the older he's gotten. I mean, I guess he was always a bit of a stool fucker, but like a stool fucker. Why are you guys saying, huh? It's like when you hump a stool. Like, it's when you do over the top physical comedy because your humor isn't funny. So you just have to do like Hassan Boomer confirmed.
Get on up. Get on up.
No. And by the way, when you see someone moving around like that on stage, I will bet you every penny I have they're not funny.
Suffer in the corner of the couch. Oh, fucking.
Fuck. Is that the equivalent of a guy stool fucker?
There's not a lot of women
Shah
that
has
can
kind
do
of an
that,
elitist
though.
approach to comedy. It's quite interesting. He likes bars, he says. He likes jokes. He doesn't like stool fucking.
How does this work? When he comes, his whole body just erupts.
Anytime I saw someone miming having sex, pumping air,
Yeah.
I would just go, not funny.
No.
It was just like, it was a sign of like.
But what if there's a bit where you have to mime pumping air? Stool fucking, if it's the right bit, can be funny.
Really?
But it has to be a real comic with a real reason to fuck that stool. There has to be something to it.
Why do you do that? It looks dumb, all right? This is just being gay. That's all. Ass in the air. That's it.
There's got to be a bit.
Pumping air?
Yeah, but
you mean like
there's got to be
screwing pumping?
Some bits.
What? But who doesn't know what that looks like? Why do you need to pump?
Maybe there's a reason. There's got to be a something.
Unless like you're imitating someone having a heart attack pumping.
I'm not that retarded. It looks fucking stupid.
And most of the move around people are pushing it, just oversell shit by
I see what you're saying.
physicalizing what should be just funny the way you say it.
Yep.
Pencil and write that shit down. Bitch!
I'm worried how you're not trying to laugh. Dude, what are you talking about? This entire thing is hilarious because Joe Rogan is a stool fucker, and some of the guests that he has had on over the years who are, long-term comedians, maybe not Charlemagne personally, but like all these, like a lot of comedians will say over the top physical comedy is 100% a way to carry your like shitty humor. You don't have good enough humor, so you have to do like over the top physical comedy like an ape. And Joe Rogan is that ape.
I'm trying to think if Eddie fucked a stool. I
I
imagine
don't
he
remember
might
any
have been.
fucking no stool, bro. See, I like Eddie, I like Richard, I like Chris
Yeah.
Rock, bless you. I like Chappelle, you know what I'm saying? Like I like people that have something to say.
I think physicality is underrated by comic snobs, but don't ham it up.
All that stool fucking is like, I would never disrespect the craft like that.
Well, you wouldn't have to disrespect it. You would just have to want to do
That's why he's trying to defend it here.
it and then try it.
If the content is about your physicality,
Right.
that's not dancing.
Right.
Dancing's when you put like English, like when you're doing this to accentuate what you're saying. It's like, screw that. We don't need that.
One more cocktail. I'm not that funny, man. I need some help.
Man,
Thank you.
Schaub too, man.
Shout out to Brendan Schaub.
I really do appreciate.
Yeah, I mean, he's always look. He set up his own lane. He built a comedy. He built an entire fucking not a comedy store, I guess. Like, I mean, he built his own comedy club, and also it is undeniable that like comedians have to dick ride him. Like, it's just the truth. Okay, comedians have to dick ride him because he has a massive fucking audience. Still to this day, a massive audience. Just like you have to subscribe at the top of the hour in order to avoid seeing the ads at the top of the hour. It is what it is. He built a Dutch oven comedy club. Everyone in there sniffing his farts. Jim Carrey, Robin Williams, Chris Farley all had a lot of physicality. Yeah, you're talking about people who are like not even in their stand-up bits, but instead talking about people as like, you know, comedians doing movies and shit. And also there's a difference between like utilizing your physicality in a unique way versus your like stand-up comics versus comedic actors are different. That's number one. But also like Cat Williams would probably be a better example of someone who uses physicality in his bits, but ultimately his bits still work without that. Whereas Joe Rogan is like very obviously making the physical aspect of it the entire joke. Anyway, so as far as Joe Rogan goes, though, I mean, he's not a great stand-up comic, and his last special was also not great either. There's so much right-wing shit in it too. There's so like he has a bit about fucking like he has a bit where he's like, oh, we don't build mobile phones here. We let China build mobile phones. And like, I get the premise. Like, the premise is actually kind of funny. We're just like, we have so many fucking undocumented migrants coming over. Like, you think none of them know how to build phones? Like, I'm sure if they can like cross the Rio Grande Valley, then they know how to they can figure out how to build a phone. And it's like, if he just keeps it at that, that's already a funny joke in and of itself, right? Like, you're overcoming such great odds to come here, whatever. But then he has to like tie that to so many like weird right-wing culture points. Oh, they have a fucking bag of fentanyl shoved up their ass when they're crossing the Rio Grande Valley. I guess like that works as a right-wing joke. I would say that that's like a good right-wing joke. You know what I mean? Like, I obviously still get annoyed by it because it's like, come on, dude. Like, that's not how this works. But can't right-wing also be funny? Comedy can connect everybody no matter politics. As a joke, like it still is different than just doing did you just assume my gender? Like, that's a funnier joke as a standalone joke with its structure, the way the sentences are arranged, the way the words are arranged. And that's like the most I'll go to as far as like a right-wing joke that can be funny. But even then, it's just, it's unnecessary. Does that make sense? It's unnecessarily adding like fat to it in an effort to be fucking right-wing. So like, you could shave that off and it would still be funny. If anything, it'd be funnier because you're getting to the point faster. And then he's like, oh yeah, you know, they've never heard of a union. Like, he's like, a Guatemalan's never heard of a union. It's like, why do you care about that? Like, I thought you were supposed to be pro-working class, you know? But beyond that, I think like his hyper obsession as a 60-year-old man talking about like the pregnant guy emoji. Like, come on, dude. It's a fucking emo, bro. You're literally 60. Like, who gives a fuck? Oh, men can't get pregnant. Men can't get pregnant. It's like, dude, no one cares about this. Like, why the fuck? Why are you still harping on this? Making COVID jokes. He did make fun of himself a bunch, but even then, I thought it was like, even when he made fun of himself, I thought that like it still wasn't that good. Like, it felt almost out of place. You know what I mean? Did he really make fun of himself? Yeah, he did.
Joe Rogan, the podcast phenomena who has faced criticism for using racial slurs and promoting conspiracy theories, performed a live 1-hour Netflix comedy special nearly 1 month ago. Rogan delivered the kind of comedy his fans and critics expected. To put it plainly, Joe Rogan burned the boats, did not break any new artistic ground, nor did it do much to broaden Rogan's appeal. The routine featured Chinese American accents, jokes about pregnant men, shoutouts to Alex Jones and Elon Musk, the use of the R word and F word, while carefully avoiding the N word, and plenty of LGBTQ themed jabs. This content might resonate with his massive fan base, but it's unlikely to attract a more diverse audience, though that's probably not the goal. On his podcast, Rogan engages with a variety of ideas, but in his new comedy special, he takes a different approach by playing the fool. He jokes about his mind wandering during conversations with Elon Musk, whom he calls the smartest person alive, perhaps the most unintentionally effective jab of the show. The live format did not play to Rogan's strength as a comedian. In his earlier specials, he appeared more confident and even, at times introspective. In his first special, Triggered, a title that now feels almost like a parody coming from him, he even voices a common criticism. I sense a lot of macho posturing, he says, acknowledging it before agreeing and pointing out how we all gravitate towards what others like and steer away from what they don't. Rogan has cultivated a podcast audience that enjoys conspiracies and engaging in culture war skirmishes with the left, and he caters to those interests. Yet his podcast also showcases his personal obsessions and quirks, which are noticeably absent from his conventional stand up. If you found this video interesting, then make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this, and thanks for watching.